You are now watching On the Move with SportzKelz.
I've been running the long run. I've been fighting the good fight. Got my eye on the good prize. So I see you at the finish line. And you're here to get yours. Best believe I'ma get mine. The only one holding me back is me. So I see you at the finish line.
Full speed ahead, cause early bird get the worm or receive the bread. Cause every day it's like a race, from start to finish. And this I can't evade, so Gatorade till I replenish. I gotta finish, cause I ain't a quitter. I'm from the GOAT, so you already know that I am a getter. Not a sitter, I stand. Not a boy, I'm a man. I'm done talking, I'm playing.
What's up? Hey everybody, it's On the Move with SportzKelz. Give it up, it's Monday. Monday Night Football is back.
Can we get some?
Yes.
Monday Night Football is back.
Yes, it is.
Man, it feels good to be up here. Feel good. Hey, this is SportzKelz.
I'm Easy E.
Coach Drew.
And your man Fred Yates over here holding down the end.
And we got the fantasy doctor out here. So listen, this is On the Move with SportzKelz. We are in the SportzKelz Lounge second show.
Yes.
Book your seat on the couch. So man, how was everybody's weekend? Woo.
Busy.
It was a busy weekend this weekend.
We was out here. Busy. Then we had to deal with our boys. We're gonna have to get to that. So listen, we're gonna have the SportzKelz rundown. We got the question of the night. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? Ooh. So we're going to get some feedback on that. And see. Toughie. You already know who I'm thinking. Cowboys, baby.
Oh,
there ain't no way to do it.
Stop.
We're going to talk about the bus, the Ohio State season opener against Oklahoma.
Oh, man. That was
Listen, our new segment for tonight. I'm so excited. The barbershop talk is coming to the SportzKelz Lounge.
Can y'all give it up for the barbershop zone? You know?
Give it up. Woo! Man, we got the 2017 PAFL in the building, the Columbus Fire.
In the building.
We're going to talk about the huddle. Man, just news and notes from around the NFL. Around the world in 5 minutes, focusing on other sports. Man, I'm excited to also talk about some hockey. We got an expert in the building.
Right.
So, man, we got to get some little feedback from that. The media pass, upcoming games we are attending, Sports Street Heat News, and the Easy E rant.
Oh, man.
So, man, let's get this party started right.
Yes.
The bus. What happened? What happened?
We got outplayed Saturday night, so.
What happened?
It was just a bad night for Ohio State. Just horrible night.
My thing with Ohio State, I've been trying to tell people, and I actually had a chance to talk actually got a chance to hear Coach Myers' press conference and what he said. And Coach Myers said it best. He said you can't blame. He already knows JT's going to get the backlash of it, but Coach Myers himself said you got the team as a whole, as a unit. And as an offense has to pick up their game. You can't just blame one person. Everybody want to say, put JT on the bench and da-da-da. Coach Meyer himself said he's not changing JT. He's not going to change JT, and the whole team has to step up their gameplay. You win, you lose as a team.
Well, you can't keep playing JT when you're playing like you're a freshman.
No, it ain't. You got to have everybody else. Quarterback is only as good as his talent around him. When you have line missing blocks, some of y'all. Columbus Fire, no. You can't blame one person for an offensive struggle. If one person is messing up, then that's going to mess up the whole chemistry of it. Am I right? You can't blame it on one person. Am I right?
Right. But
y'all know.
It really come from Drew in his post on Saturday. His pick.
But see, he's a Michigan guy, so he's going to be unbiased anyway. I thought you was a Michigan guy. I thought you was a Michigan guy.
QB.
Where's he from?
He's from USC, man.
USC. When the last time they won?
So we're going to get some commentary from our live audience out here. Who do you think? Do you think it was the QB or you just think it was an overall? Somebody who's not an OSU fan.
Overall. I mean.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's just the whole.
The receivers are young. They're all freshmen and sophomores, so they're still young.
But
and
even
grown.
though the fact that they had they got the coach from Indiana last year, they talked about. He's supposed to bring a new dynamic to the team or whatever and all, but I'm still seeing the same stuff from last year.
But from what I see, you can't. You're going to have some wrinkles. You're going to have some wrinkles within an offense when you bring in a new offensive coordinator. It's not just going to be a well-oiled machine in just one training camp. You got a young team, young receivers. Everybody is still learning the offense.
Listen,
and it shows.
Absolutely
It shows.
No.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
We got exposed. It carried over from 31-0.
No, it didn't carry nothing over.
FNBS
That team is done and over with. It's a new team.
And it's still here. Go ahead, Drew.
It's a new team.
I would like to say something. One thing that I noticed about the game Saturday night with Ohio State is that they went away from the run.
Exactly.
Earlier within the game, they had the run game down pat, and that opened up a lot of big runs for them. In which, when they went away from the run, as opposed to J.T. Barrett taking off and running when he had an open lane, he was waiting for the receivers to get open when he should have been throwing the ball to them open and not when they were wide open.
Sometimes those guys missed. Sometimes those guys dropped the balls. Sometimes you had the offensive line that was inconsistent. I'm sorry, number 59, the right tackle, Isaiah Prince, he needs to be benched. As many sacks as he gives up and gets blown up on that right side of the line, JT don't have no time to set up and look over the receivers. How many times every other play Isaiah Prince is getting beat up on the offensive line?
Well, again.
One thing that you got to understand about Ohio State is with it being the Ohio State that they're going to recruit some of the top linemen.
Yes, they are.
Some of the guys that are freshmen, they can actually come in there and learn the system and be able to block those big boys because of the schools and the level of talent that they played in before.
I agree with you on that. I have no problem with that. But like I said, this is still a very underclassmen-led squad. These guys ain't even – half these guys not even – upperclassmen. Let's wait till these guys get to become juniors and seniors when you have the experience, and then we see where these guys gonna be. We lost three of our secondary. We lost three of our secondary to the NFL draft. You're not gonna replace that type of experience and from a draft and come in with three
We don't rebuild, we reload.
Whatever.
Man.
We don't do that. Ask Coach K. Ask Coach K if the Duke Blue doesn't reload.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but right now what I don't see within the Ohio State football team is a leader. J.T. Barrett has been there for 5 years, and he hasn't shown any leadership as of yet. He has.
J.T. Barrett's record is 27.
Am I right or wrong?
J.T. Barrett is 27. He is 27-5 as a starter, 4-0 against Michigan, 3-time captain, which has never been done at OSU. Never been done.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Since you're a Ohio State fan. What bowl game has J.T. Barrett ever won?
They beat Notre Dame.
I said bowl game.
He beat Notre Dame last year. They beat Notre Dame.
They didn't win a bowl game last year.
Not last year. 2 years.
2
years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago, they won the national championship.
It was
Cordell Jones.
He started.
Cordell.
I'm talking about when they beat Notre Dame. What was that? JT was started. I think that was Zeke's last game. And JT Barrett was the starting quarterback. And he won that. No, Cordell was not the starter for that game. Look it up. Look it up.
We're talking about championships.
No, not when they beat Notre Dame. When they beat Notre Dame, that was J.T. Barrett. Look it up. That was J.T. Barrett when they beat Notre Dame in that bowl game. I do believe that was Zeke's last game. But JT was one responsible when Braxton Miller got hurt. JT was the one that got us there until he got hurt, and then CJ came.
We need a flag
and then CJ came. Y'all forget what JT did. My thing is, everybody, what top-notch receiver has JT had since Devin Smith went to the Jets in the second round? What receiver has he had? He's had no receivers.
They come with the gusto.
We have no, but he has no receivers.
Reload.
What big name top-notch receiver? But what top-notch receiver has he had? What top-notch receiver has he had?
We could be on this forever. We could be on this forever.
We ain't arguing. I'm just making a story.
What'd you say, Dwight? Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Right. Right.
No, Urban Meyer. What was that? Who was the starter?
Right.
All right, my man did look it up. Elliott scored TDs. And
With that
JT
being
Barrett
said-
was the quarterback. He went 19 of 31, 211 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception in the win as a starter for the Ohio State Buckeyes over Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. We're
Thank
talking about
you.
national.
If we replace JT and they put in a guy that's not ready to start, they're going to be saying, oh, that guy is terrible, and they're going to be ready to call his head.
Let me explain something to you, Fred. Let me stop you and explain something to you, Fred. The other day, one of the 5-star recruits that came to Ohio State.
Yeah, I said it. I gave Oklahoma props. When I stated in my post, I gave Oklahoma props.
It doesn't matter.
I gave Oklahoma
Ohio
props.
State did the bus, and we're moving forward to the Army next week. And
The game is over. We're
Right,
moving
it's
forward.
over.
That's it.
It's
We're moving
over.
forward.
It's over.
We got our
Everybody
butts
got
kicked.
their own opinion assessment.
Woo!
So everybody's
It's
opinion
emotional.
is taken.
So now, listen. We got the barbershop talk
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
building.
Yes.
Barbershop talk. We got the Barber Zone, Chavez moment. Listen, when I first wanted to do this segment, it was all about being a part of the community. I call it the country club. Y'all fellas, y'all already know. When y'all come in the barbershop, y'all talk about everything.
Oh,
I
yeah.
go to the barbershop. Y'all talk about everything
Yes.
from the good stuff to the bad stuff, about your nights out, so we going to bring this segment where he going to talk about what goes on at the shop. So we're just going to hand it over to Chavez Moen, Barber Zone.
It goes down at
Yeah, you're going
barbershop.
to come on over here, get behind the table.
The Vikings is in the appointment, man.
Oh,
Lord.
Here we
Lord
go.
Jesus.
Lord
This guy.
Jesus.
Does people still wear Vikings uniform? I thought they went
Here
away
we
with Adrian Peterson.
go.
Monday night.
Monday Night Football, we're back.
And we ain't got no TV in, so the Vikings is in the
Look, he gotta put his cape on.
They got rid of Adrian
We're gonna hand it over
Peterson.
here.
I lost
So let's give it
hope
up
for
to
the
Chavez
Vikings.
Moen from Barber Zone. Woo! Let's go.
I done gave me the microphone.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, do I got to keep it like PG and stuff or whatever? But hold on, man. I'm about to try to go live too. I want to promote myself too. Y'all already know. Y'all better know. But y'all in the Barber Zone. Actually, the Barber Zone is that's my company name. But I work at Airport Barbers right up the street, James and Stelzer. Since this is like a man show, we talking about the barbershop. I'm 2 doors down from the centerfold. I'm gonna let that sink in. 2 doors down from the centerfold. All right, but y'all, what we talking about in the barbershop right now is really the Ezekiel Elliott thing.
Right.
So how do you feel about that? How do you feel?
That's the big topic right now.
Right.
In the barbershop is, hey, Barber Zones and SportzKelz right now. We're going live. Here, look. Okay. But y'all, we talking about the whole Ezekiel Elliott thing. And
So let me ask you this then. Do you think he should be playing right now?
Since it hasn't, yes,
I say he shouldn't be playing,
I
period.
say he shouldn't be playing because it's actually in court right now. He actually had the suspension.
Right.
So he actually shouldn't be playing. The thing is, he's doing too much.
He really is,
You're not at Ohio State anymore. You don't.
You're a professional now.
You're a professional. You're not an amateur. So you have to be held up to a professional standard right now.
So he should be accounted for his actions then.
You should be very accountable for the actions. I'm not saying he's guilty for the situation with the young lady.
Right.
I don't know that, but having so many situations going on at one time,
Right.
that's too much going on. We saw the video where he pulled the girl's breast out in public, and that's not cool as a professional. Now that you're in the NFL, you have a lot of young Buckeyes, a lot of young Fire fans, a lot of young football players that are looking up to you, and now you're doing stuff like that.
It's just like he exposed some
that's-
father's daughter.
Yeah, that's not a good look. And for y'all to say, no, he doesn't know, he does know, because my daughter right now is at the University of Cincinnati in sports management in the compliance department. And I know for a fact that he's told how to act, what to do, where you can go, and what's acceptable in the NFL, because that's what she does. So if they're doing it at the college level, I know for a fact they're doing it at the NFL level.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Young men, young players, young football players, young athletes, young men, you have to respect yourself, respect women, because when you get out here in this professional world, whether it's from the barbershop to the football field to the basketball court, you're going to be held at a higher standard. You're going to be under a microscope. So you have to keep yourself cleaner than the average player.
My thing is that the NFL, when these rookies first come in the league, they hold a 3-day rookie symposium where they bring all the rookies in. They have Coach Herm Edwards or whoever is talking to these guys about behavior, talking to them about how to spend their money, making sure, this is what you do, what you can't do. And it almost seems like, is this rookie symposium that they're doing for these 3 days for these rookies, is that even, I don't know if it's even, doing anything, because you just keep hearing and seeing so much out of these rookies that it's like, what is this 3-day event doing for these guys?
So what is your what is the take on the barbershop itself? Like, what are they saying? Like, what is their stance on it?
A lot of individuals say that since he's not guilty, since it's not proven, he should play, and
that's all
he
Cowboys
should.
fans.
Yeah, and it's a lot. Well, it's a lot of Cowboys fans, and it's a lot of Buckeye fans, and with us being right here, and with us being right here in Columbus, you have a lot of individuals that say, he should be playing, it's not proven. And, see, y'all, but we know, and here's my thing. You have the 911 calls, and you have that stuff that went on, but it doesn't show up. Because we know how sometimes, I'm not just saying Ohio State, but some of these big schools, when you're a big player, some things get swept up under the rug, and they never reach, our eyes and ears or even the legal system. So, but young man, young woman, you have to keep yourself clean. You work out all this time, and you keep yourself healthy, and you don't do drugs, and you do this, but you have to keep your reputation clean. You have to keep yourself clean before you can get on that field. So that's all I say. And if out of this he learns, and he's a better player, because he's a great player.
Yeah, he is a great player.
He's an awesome player, but brother, keep your antics down a little bit. Take it to the house.
He gonna be like Johnny Manziel playing over in Canadian
Take it to the
football
house,
league
man.
if you don't
Keep
straighten
it
up.
inside your house. Just keep it out the public, man. Just keep yourself clean.
He gonna be like Johnny Manziel.
Ezekiel. I'm sorry.
Yes, he
So
was. He was
no,
good.
outside of Ezekiel, what's the next big
Johnny was a
topic
hype.
that goes on in the barbershop?
Oh man, we talking about that crybaby Kyrie Irving, man. Cats is on the sports side. We talking about that crybaby. I want more recognition. I want more notoriety, dude. You take more shots than the best player in the world. You've been to the final 3 years in a row. Yeah. You couldn't get to the finals by yourself before LeBron came back.
Can he get to the playoffs?
I mean, dude, you couldn't even make the playoffs. So, what do you want? What more do you want? You want your own team. You want your face on the front of the building with your arms spread out with the Nike. What do you want?
So with him being in Boston now, how do you feel the Celtics will do this year?
They won't be any better. I mean, they can't really get any better than they were last year. They made it to where they got in the playoffs.
Okay.
As far as they did, so I don't see them beating the Cavs. But and here's the thing. And here's the thing. My take on the Cavs. It doesn't matter who we have as a guard. Like last year, we had a great team. Everybody talking about we lost and we need to do this. We had a great team. But if you don't have anybody in the middle to stop Kevin Durant running to the hole, we had two giants in the middle, but they both were hurt.
Bogut and
Birdman.
Birdman, that's right.
Both if either one of those are in that paint, that's a totally different series. Tristan is not a center. He's a 4. He's not a center. Come on, man. They run into the cup on that dude. But if you got big Bogut in there, the big shot blocker, that's a totally different series.
So, Beth, since you're going to be on the segment, so what can we look forward to, weekly of just different things that goes on in the barbershop? Like, since you're a community servant, like myself, what can you give us? Like, because you see from the adults to the grandparents down to the children.
With me being a community person,
yes,
one thing I'm always say is support our kids. Mm-hmm. We have to support our kids, and with this being a sports show, and we have to use athletics to build the character of our kids, because we have too many kids right now that are being lost in the system, or lost because we don't have any mentors or any positive role models. And with the barbershop, with barbers being, I'm gonna say it, the #1 positive role model in the black community, we need to step that up. So we need to add more community to our kids, and old schools quit walking by these young men without saying anything to them.
Right.
You know, like we did. Like when we was out playing around, the old schools would come out and holler at us. Now we don't holler at the young men. And young men, quit being funny acting to these old school. Look at this, I'm gray. I'm an old school now. Quit acting funny.
We got that wisdom.
We not trying to be your dads. We just trying to reach out to y'all, and that's what I talk about in the barbershop all the time. Yeah. We not trying to be your dads. We just trying to be a role model in your life. That's it. So that's what y'all gonna get. Y'all gonna get what we talk about in the barbershop. And me being a community dude, that's what we talk about. We talk about sports, and we talking about uplifting young men. And when y'all don't realize it, when we uplift young men, we uplift our young women. I've got a daughter, and one of these knuckleheads, she gonna like one of them one of these days. So I need y'all brothers to help.
I got two myself.
I need y'all to help get these brothers right. So hey, thank you, SportzKelz, for allowing me to come on the team.
Welcome.
And hey, I'm looking forward to being this. Hey, but can I pull up something real quick one time? Just 2 minutes. Hey y'all, look, boom. I'm a barber, and if y'all don't know, the National Barber Museum is here in Columbus, Ohio, where it's located in Canal, Winchester. The National Barber Museum, where the history of the oldest trade ever existed, is here in Columbus, Ohio.
PAFL on the couch. Are you ready?
Columbus Fire in the building.
Columbus Fire on the move with SportzKelz.
Hey, we got Columbus Fire in the building, y'all. They here in the building right now.
Hey, what's up? We are back. This is On the Move with SportzKelz. You can listen to us live at www.justtalkradio.com. Book your seat on the couch. Here we have the 2017 PAFL champ, the Columbus Fire. Woo!
Yes.
Listen, it's the journey. On the Move with SportzKelz, we came a part of the team at the beginning of the season, and I say it has been a journey.
Yes.
Looking forward to talking to them and getting some insight of how it was throughout this whole entire season. So I'm going to hand it off to Fred Yates. Let's get this party started.
All right. Hey, guys, thanks for coming out. Pleasure and honor to be talking to you guys. I had so much fun coming in towards the middle of the season, starting to cover you guys. I mean, what you guys are able to accomplish, becoming the PAFL conference champions, and now playing for the national championship down in Orlando in January. Has it really sunk into you guys yet that, have everybody introduce themselves and what position you play, and just let me know. I want to hear from each one of you guys what's been the experience, the journey from the start of the season till now and moving forward and going to the national championship. Coach?
Clinton Wallace, General Manager, Columbus Fire. It's been a long road, and it's been, just to say, it was bittersweet. Bittersweet.
Coach Drew, offensive coordinator. This year has been, like Coach Clint has said, it's been a long road. It's been kind of topsy-turvy, roller coaster ride, but we did what we had to do to get to where we would like to be at the end of the season, and that's to play for a national championship.
That's right.
Rashawn Moore, defensive end. It's been fun. It's been a fun year, and these teammates that we got here, they light a fire up under you. So competition all year, it's fun.
David King, wide receiver. The season it's been great. Ups and downs, but these guys, the support they give, it amps you and it keeps you going.
My name Anthony Harris, nickname AJ. I play left bench. It's like now I play strong safety and linebacker, outside linebacker. But just like everybody else said before me, and this season's been a battle. I mean, like it's a special one because we had a lot of guys give up their bodies. Like I know me personally, I suffered 2 knee injuries during this season. I still battled out. So, I mean, it's been very inspiring with the ups and downs.
Now, since you got the mic, now the last game we played in the championship, I understand you got injured. Yeah. Now, can you tell us how is that injury doing for you right now?
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I ended up tearing my right ACL. It happened in the 3rd play of the game. Okay. So.
Yeah, see, I saw you was trying to get back in there, and then it was just like you just had to shut it down.
I tried on the sideline, but it ended up giving out on me on the sideline. So I went down again on the sideline a couple minutes later. So, I mean, I'll be all right for next season.
Okay.
So I'll be cool.
It's team support though. That's what it's all about now. Yeah, all right, definitely. Man on the end.
All right, my name is Amon Maxwell, 9-year veteran receiver.
Wow.
And
so you got some bling on your hand over there. Got that bling, boy.
Mostly what I gotta say is I mean I've been on teams that's been 12-0 and gotten to the championship game and lost, and you know not knowing how to gel together and how to come together. And yes, it's been a challenging season this year, but I also saw a lot of young guys mature and play through plays and not give up and just play to the zeros is on the clock. And that's what it's all about. You're going to have ups and downs, whether it's in life or in football, but it's how you respond to it. And I think this year's team responded really well in critical situations. So
yes,
that's what I would have to say about this season.
And speaking of that, Coach, you guys, through just the time that I've started covering you guys, I've seen it's no matter when you guys, through face of adversity, when you guys needed to step up and whether make a defensive play, a defensive stop, go down and score, a winning drive or a winning touchdown, you guys have always been able to overcome adversity in the ball games. How do you guys keep that mental edge and focus that, hey, as long as there is time on the clock, no matter what the adversity is going to come, you guys found a way to get it done. How do you coach? Is that coaching? Is that the belief guys just have in themselves? I mean, how do you elaborate on that?
I would say that it would have to do, it's a variation of several things, and it would have to be with coaching and the players that play that find it in themselves to dig deep down into their hearts to play just like Maxwell say until there's zeros on the clock. It was, players pulling each other, together and picking them up and getting them to do the things that they, the team needed to do in order for us to be successful and to win.
All right, and now we got another Columbus Fire player here, Maurice Dowse in the building. What's going on, sir? Hey, you can go ahead and why don't you introduce everybody, introduce yourself, and introduce what position you play. Turn on to the camera.
My name is Maurice Dowse. I'm number 6. I play running back and wherever they ask me to play.
The Bruiser.
Champ.
All right. And now, Maurice, we were just going around asking everybody their perception of the season. I got to he's a Giants fan, so now listen, I got a chance to ask all the guys. You guys had the ups and downs of the journey of the season. From the start of the season till now. What has been your take on this season as this team gelled, from the start of the season till now, and then all the adversity, through the course of the season, and you guys are now playing for a championship?
It was difficult at first, There's a lot of new personalities. We was trying to figure out who we were, but I think once about mid-season, we all bought into the brotherhood. We talk family, we preach it, but nobody really believed in the beginning. But then at the end of the season, you started fighting for your brother. And
Right.
We wanted them Pittsburgh dudes more than anything.
I know
I'm not gonna lie to you, because them dudes, they was doing too much wolfing.
Yes, they were.
They caught us slipping the first time, but they know what it is now.
All right, and as I was asking the guys, you guys, what inspiration did you guys draw from last year, coming up short, and did that help you guys get that motivation to say, hey, look, you know what, we're going to get it together going into this next season, and now you guys are playing for a championship. How much did that loss from last year really play into the mindset of this team?
I think for a lot of us, like me, that's my last league championship game. I'm done.
Okay.
A lot of us is done.
Okay.
And the group that we haven't had a chance to actually win a league championship together. So that was one of our goals. We got a lot of 30 and ups.
Yeah.
Me and Max, we 30 and up, man. I'm 34.
Okay.
So this is it for me. It's gonna be my last national championship game, and I just want to cement my legacy with the Fire by capping off with another national championship.
I know that's right. And now, how have you guys, with the veterans leaving, to speak with the veterans, how have you guys been able to, give that what you guys have gone through, the winning, and pass that down to the younger guys and say, hey, look, y'all guys are part of the legacy now. This is what we're leaving you guys. It's up to you guys now to carry that tradition on. How are you guys been able to do that with the young guys?
When I first got to the Fire, I was hanging around the old Battlestar players.
Okay.
And one thing that they did was they took me under their wing, and they taught me how to be a champ.
Okay.
So Clint, King, Jimmy, June, Big Wink, Black, all of them dudes, man, and Big P Hump, they taught me how to be a leader. You don't sit on your hands. You got to fight for everything that you want. And in the beginning, we learned how to lose, and then we figured out how to win.
All right.
Just ask the Pittsburgh Colts. They beat us by a total of 8 points in 4 games.
Right.
And then we smoked them after that. They never
Right.
beat us. Detroit Seminoles. They're a great organization, but ask them how the last time they beat the Fire. That's what we do, man. And the young dudes now, they had to figure out how to lose and what it felt like to have your heart broken,
Right.
to know what it felt like to actually go out there and win.
All right.
Like when we lost to the Tornadoes, we never lost to them dudes. We used to bash them all the time. So they got lucky. They caught us slipping. And it motivated us because a lot of us, we knew that this was going to be it.
Right.
I knew for me, for sure, I ended my arena football career, and I was going to end my Fire career on a high note, and I wanted to end it with my brothers the right way. Okay. And we didn't want to play nobody else but Western PA. If we would have played Erie,
I know that's right.
we was going to thrash them. But we wanted Western PA because that team, they took it to us. We ain't never been shut out before.
Right.
And they beat us. We were shorthanded, but no excuses. We lost, but now they know what to feel like to have their heart broken.
I understand that.
Courtesy of the Fire Boys.
I know that. And now my man talk. Now you were one of the more veteran players of the team, as far as you've been around to see a lot. You've been around for 9 years. So now, what has been your take from how you started coming as a young guy, looking at some of the older veterans, and now you're a veteran on the way out, and the stuff that you're trying to leave, the legacy for the young guys coming in?
Well, playing D1 ball and just trying to come in and just really not really teach, but just lead and show by example of being what I call an even keel player and just playing balanced and not really being too high, too low. Always, I tell Little League players as well the same thing, never let play A affect play B. Right. And how that goes is that you can be a corner and you can get beat on play A, but you can come back and make a play on play B. Right. And the same thing vice versa. You can get beat, you can get beat on play A, come back and make a play on play B, and vice versa on that. So you just gotta just play your game and just not get too high, too low. That's pretty much what I'll bring to the game.
Now, obviously, you always got some guys that come out of high school that's, quote unquote, the all-stars of their high school team and try to come in and, have you guys had to, how do those guys, take the veteran leadership when you guys try to, instill in them, this ain't high school. We don't care what you were in high school. This is another level. So how do you guys bring that, humble those guys as far as when they come onto the team?
the first thing we explain to them dudes is you don't know what it feel like to get hit by a grown man.
Right.
Like, me and Max, we used to be in, like, when we used to go on the road, we was that team's Super Bowl.
Right.
So we was going to get 50, 60 players trying to take our head off. You know,
Right.
in high school, I'm not going to take no shot, but it's a lot different than what we do.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of guys that been in NFL camps, played NFL ball before, played Division I college football. You coming straight out of high school, like, you still got a little kid body.
Right.
So when you get hit by that grown man, you got to figure out either you going to tuck your tail or you going to man up and play ball.
Okay.
And a lot of us, you know, we done been to college. You know, I played professionally for 10 years.
Okay.
My man played. Like, we know what it feel like to play at another level.
Right.
So all I do is trying to give the young dudes insight. But, you know, some of these dudes in this generation, man, they feel like they got all the answers. And I tell them, like, yo, we forgot more football than you played.
Right.
So if I, like, say, the younger running backs, I tell them what I see. My homie, we done been, what, 6 national championship games?
Whew.
6.
Nice.
Like, us losing 2 and 3 games in the season, we didn't used to do that.
Right.
We'll lose 1.
Right.
We'll be ranked number 1 in the country.
Right.
We be in the top 5 every year. Like,
Right.
this low stuff, we wasn't used to it.
Right.
But it was for the younger dudes to figure it out. Hey, listen, me and Max, Gibbs, stuff, we fall back. We want to see how you lead.
Right.
If it's not for you, then we take over.
Right.
Because we know what to do in crunch time because we've been there.
Right.
We've been in the fire. Like, we've been through the battles. But, you know, like AD, Cam, they came through.
Right.
And it was because we took them under our wing and say, hey, listen, you follow our lead. This is how we lead.
Right.
I'm gonna lead you. I'm your big brother.
Right.
I'm never gonna tell you something that's gonna put you in a position to look bad.
Right.
I only want you to look better because look, when I fall back and when I retire, when Max retired, all we got is the fire.
Right.
Because when we first came, it was the battle stars.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the first thing that they told me, they say, listen, the fire is yours.
Right.
This is your legacy. You build it. You can't live off the battle stars.
Right.
The battle stars is the battle stars. So when we first started, we all came together. Me, Black, Gibbs, the twins, Eric and Dan and Derek, Cordell, Big Mike, Quan. This championship is not just for this team. This is for the legacy that we built and brought everything along to it. You know, it's the zenith for us. For me, this is it.
Right. No matter.
So I don't care. It was 15 seconds left in the championship game. I knew we won. I ran over there and grabbed that trophy. Do something. It's ours. We got to earn this.
Right.
So we know what it feel like to win a championship, but it felt great to actually win one with our brothers, our little brothers, so they know what to build on for next year.
Right.
They don't need us to hold their hand no more. You know?
And then coaches, anybody, was there ever a point in the season, or can you guys say one game that defined the season where you guys said after the game, you know what, we got a pretty good team here and we know we going to end up going to the, was there any one point or one game or one moment when you guys felt that this team could end up in Florida the way it is now?
To me, it was 2 points when we first came back. But all the veterans came back and they made that, they just made a promise. And that was point 1. We were solid at that time. But we had a point in the time of the season where we was at our bottom and wasn't sure. Okay? The big point, the highest point was when we was in Akron, backs against the wall. And John Abner, you know, he's the GOAT to me, okay? He is the guy, I said, is the glue to this team, to this 2017. Seeing him play with he doesn't have what he used to have, but he was tough. He took a lot of beatings, okay? The highest point is when we was able to pick up, everybody know Willie Beeman.
Yes, Willie.
He stepped right in that game and took over. That's when I knew we had something there, and we were back on top. Throughout the whole process, we seen us go from ups to downs every game. Right. Mental mistakes every game. Right. And what my veterans is telling you is a learning process. Right. Guys have to learn how to lose and how to, fight. Right. Okay, so we was able to do that throughout the year. To zeros hit the clock. So basically, those are 2 points, not one. It was two that got us here today, sitting on the sofa, talking about this legacy here. Yeah. And personally, I'm proud of these guys for what they done. This was a heck of a season for these guys. It was. Just like they said, we have never been 11-3. As head coach, when I was head coach, we was 67-6.
Wow. Okay.
11-3, and win it, bittersweet.
Coach Drew, how long have you been with the Fire organization, and what was a defining moment, for you for this season, as far as when you saw this team come together and realize, hey, you know what, this team has the capabilities of going all the way?
This is my 3rd year with the organization. It had to be the Akron game, and it was when we were down, and it was 4th and 30.
Ooh.
And we went for it on 4th and 30. Wow. It was all or nothing.
Wow, 4th and 30.
And this man right here sealed the game.
Speak of that, 4th and 30.
With the touchdown on 4th and 30.
You don't have many plays that are drawn up for 4th and 30.
So, the finish, what you're saying, that was the moment where I knew that we had something special, along with the addition of Michael Wilson, a.k.a. Willie Beeman.
Yes. Now, speaking of that play, 4th and 30, the season on the line, as Coach stated. When that ball, how long was the, it was 4th and 30, so it actually went for a touchdown, right?
Right.
When that ball was in the air, what was going on through your mind? 4th and 30, this is the game, possibly the season. What was going on in your mind during that time period?
Honestly, just get open. He put the ball in the air on the line, and I just looked around, and the man was in front of me, and the way he was running, I just looked at him, and I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to stop, turn around, and get his hand on that ball. So I just made sure I stayed focused, just stared at it. I think he even tipped it a little bit.
Oh, wow.
But I just stayed focused on it and hauled it in.
And then now was it a single? Were you man to man on that, or did they have a safety over top trying to play? Or
honestly, I think everybody just dropped to the end zone. Yeah, it was he's covered too. Honestly, I don't know coverage. I just get open and get the ball. But, yeah.
4th and 30,
4th
wow.
and 30, and I came down with it. And after that, I think that was where my confidence for the rest of the season came.
And then how did that feel? You guys converted. I know you guys must have erupted on the sideline when you guys, 4th and 30, game on the line. You score a touchdown off of it.
Well, I will say that quarterback from the other team, he was barking all game, so and he didn't want to throw me the ball when he was with this team, so I let him know it's mine.
No.
All right. What's up? And how everybody? Good job, Fred.
Man, good job, Fred. Good job, man. Give it up for Fred Yates,
man. Give it up for Fred Yates, Freddie J.
I definitely enjoyed that. Definitely enjoyed it with the guys.
No.
Man,
we still got Coach Drew with us.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to have him up here with me and the team. Man, 2017 PAFL champs. Listen, I think I got my own jersey too. I just ain't got the pads. Listen, I took that journey with. I was on the sideline, so when they was doing those hits, I was telling everybody, get back off the line, get off the white line, get off the line. So listen, I felt like I was right there with you know me because we were at the very beginning. So
we was there at training camp.
Then we got in the car and was like, ooh,
the hard hits in training camp and all. So yes.
Yeah, we had like our hard knocks. That's what we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did the hard knocks of
hard knocks
SportzKelz.
of Columbus Fire.
Yeah, Columbus Fire. Man, then Fred came in. And then we saw Fred running down the field. I'm like, yeah, he right on in tune with us, right?
He came along.
Man,
he came along for the ride.
Yeah,
let's kind of do like
came along at the right time.
Yes,
like,
he did.
You know, especially when it started towards about the end of the season, I think.
Yeah, you was like midway through the season.
Yeah, so
but I just want to say, give it up for the Columbus Fire, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The
yes.
champions.
Woo!
I mean, it's a hard thing to become champions. You know what I'm saying? And you knock off the national champions 27-game winning streak.
Yes.
You
That
end
was
that?
crazy.
Come on, man.
In the
Come
fashion that
on,
it was done.
Man.
And we was right there.
That fourth and goal was just, oh my God.
Yeah, that whole entire set.
Yes.
That's why I said I was hoarse. That was hoarse. Like, man, why I'm waking up on a Sunday morning, it felt like I was playing.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
But again, Coach Drew, we appreciate you, and we appreciate the Columbus Fire, everything that you do for the team, inside and outside the group. You know, so we love you.
Les, love you. All them little conversations. Like, man, like Dizzo. So, Les, we're going to kind of give like a rundown from what we talked about. The question of the night was, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Ooh.
So we're going to talk about that when Drew does his huddle. But we talked about the bus, the Ohio State. I'm still convinced JT need to be benched.
Yes,
but
I am too.
Talked about the barbershop talk. Man, we had Chavez Moment, Barberzone.
That was a great segment.
Man, that was a great segment. I'm glad to have him.
Right.
September 30th, we'll be at our first Clippers in Conversation. We'll be at Hair Visions. So you're going to have to check that out, September the 30th. Columbus Fire was in the studio.
Yes.
Man, around the world in 5 minutes. Man, there was so much that went on over the weekend, but didn't nothing matter except for OSU.
Yes, OSU in the NFL.
And my Cowboys, baby! Yeah.
We know their story. They're good before Thanksgiving, and after Thanksgiving, what always happens.
And long as we beat the Browns, they continue. And these bad Eagle fans, they be looking at me eating popcorn too.
But you'll be sitting on the couch with us as well too.
No, I'm not sitting on the couch. I'm going to the Super Bowl. I don't know about y'all. So listen.
So let's get on.
Let's go into some Sports Street Heat news. Woo, there was a lot that happened over the weekend.
Oh my goodness, yes, there was a.
Freddie J was at the Caribbean Festival.
Talk about that real quick, man.
Man, first I definitely got to give shout out to Trish, Avi, and Sharia Ferguson.
Okay.
Trish and Avi, they were the event planners and the coordinators of the Caribbean. It's actually pronounced Caribbean. I was actually told that the Caribbean Festival. It was a great event. I mean, they had catered food for us. Me and Rashawn was out there. Rashawn was great. He was like, man, we get some food too. It's like, yeah, we get free.
Man, we saw Fred on Facebook Live. He was getting his little Victor Cruz on.
With all the little ladies.
Yeah, the ladies, the Miranda ladies. Man, that was like, got having a chance to interview all of them. Man, it was. Like I said, it was a fantastic.
He ain't want to go home.
Right.
Fred didn't show up for nothing else. I said, where's Fred at?
Hey, man, it was a long day standing and walking. But, man, yeah, like I said, it was a great time. Like I said, shout out to Trish, Sharia Ferguson, and Abby. They took care of me on Saturday.
It was the first.
It was the first annual
10,000 people.
Festival, Caribbean Festival. I got to give shout out to Councilman Shannon Hardin. He was there. He did the ribbon ceremony at the beginning. So, I'm very good friends with him, and having him there do the ribbon ceremony, that was a special treat. Like I said, from all the performers to the music. I mean, it was just a great atmosphere.
Bringing the Caribbean to Columbus.
I didn't realize how much they got turned up doing the Caribbean music. They had everybody down on the stage, and everybody danced. It was like a big old party, atmosphere going. I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting all this. But
like I said, you was getting your Victor Cruz on over there.
But like I said, man, the Miranda girls down there, Brooke Michelle, she was did a solo performance down there. The All-Star Jammers got a chance to talk with
crew.
them. Man, they were fantastic. Great bunch of guys down there. Like I said, it was just a great vibe down there from the food. I mean, the place was stacked down there. All different kind of race of people was coming in, and that's what it was all about. Everybody come in and join this event. So I thank you for helping me be able to get that and be able to cover that. I mean, it was such an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, that's what Freddie J was at the Caribbean Festival. Then we had the Passion Meets Fashion.
Yes.
That was at the Gate. And that was Sean Chandler. That was her first fashion show. And it was for cancer survivors. So myself, I'm a cancer survivor, cervical and thyroid. So to be here is a blessing, to be able to do what I love, and to be at that fashion show, to see other survivors. And Sean sung a song at the beginning. It was called God is Amazing. And it is, because it's just where I'm at and what I'm doing in my life. And it was a great show. And then we had our own first sweet treats in football. We had Marcus, Eric, and Marshawn. They facilitated. There was 8 ladies here at the SportzKelz Lounge, and we had some football 101. We talked about some smack, how to talk smack, because I can talk good.
Yeah, you can.
He knows.
Yeah.
We can talk some smack. But
We go both.
Sometimes
we
have to
shut.
We got to shut him, shut E down.
Sometimes we just got to block each other from Facebook for a while.
God, for at least like 2 weeks, because it takes over. But yeah, it was great to be able to give women a perspective. They had their little, I call them packets, football packets, and they talked about the X and O's, and Eric was able. They was doing the plays and players. I think the girls got stuck on the players,
like they got stuck on the players, the positions.
On the positions. So
we just told them which positions which positions was best known or whatever. What the captains were, which was the quarterback and the middle linebacker. So that's all they needed to know. They kept asking, what does the linebackers do? Like, okay, this is what they do. You try to stop them from getting into the end zone or getting the first down.
Right.
Well, how many times do they get a chance to get 10 yards? It's 4 downs. 4 downs.
It was great to be able to have that interaction, but then they were able to stay at the SportzKelz Lounge, and we watched the OSU and Oklahoma game. They got their first, chance to talk smack, and they had their little notes out. So it was great.
It was good.
So the ladies started talking trash too.
Yeah, the ladies talking trash, but it was more they were able to follow the game. A lot of the ladies had never.
So now they can go back with their husbands or boyfriends and watch the game with them, where they're not like,
with me
babe, what's this?
Stop asking questions when the game is
Stop asking questions when the game is on.
Right, you gotta have your woman know how to talk about football. You got to
be a part of the sports conversation. So listen, we're gonna talk about this huddle. NFL is back.
Yes, it is.
Man, how that feel? And
feels
Drew,
good.
listen. Stop messing up my picks.
Hey, but Drew, he's undefeated so far. He's
I have to
undefeated.
start giving you some loot to take me to Vegas.
Right.
Your score was like right on the money. So we're just gonna pass this torch over to Coach Drew, and he's gonna talk about the huddle.
All right.
First of all, I'd like to thank SportzKelz for giving me this opportunity and this part on the show to talk about my college football analysis. I've been doing this for the past 5 years, weekly, as football season starts. I start off by picking my Heisman Trophy candidates and my winners, my projected winners, and I also start off by picking my projected BCS bowl game picks.
Tell us.
No, I'm saving that.
Okay.
It's on Facebook. But every week what I do is I pick the top games that are games that would be games to be watched. The game that is more than likely to be the game of the week. And last week I picked 4 games. The week before that, I picked 3 games.
Okay.
And I won all of my games based on my analysis, my research, and homework. This week, I have 3 games. And there's a reason why I have these games. I have Tennessee and Florida. I have Clemson and Louisville. And I have USC and Texas. Now, the reason why I picked these games is because Tennessee and Florida. Tennessee has not gotten over that hump of having that much success in the SEC.
Yeah, they've been on down.
Florida has been known to be dominant in the past. They've won championships.
Since Tim Tebow.
Right now, Florida is 0-1. They didn't play this past weekend. So this week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick the winners. And I'm going to talk about one game. So the winner between Tennessee and Florida this week will be Tennessee.
Where's the game
That's
at?
who I'm going with.
Where's it
In
at?
the swamp.
In the swamp?
It's in Florida.
Oh.
They still got all the players
That is
suspended?
if the game plays this weekend.
They still got all those players suspended? Are they back? Or
I'm not sure about that.
I think they're
you talking
back.
About the
It was
Florida
just
players?
one game. It was just one
yes,
game.
the Florida players are back.
Okay.
The other game I have is USC and Texas. Not because USC is my game, but because Texas, their program went down last year, and they said that this was the year that they were supposed to come up, but they got beat by Maryland.
A basketball school.
So, this is going to be a make it or break it game for them. I don't see this game being close at all. I'm taking USC by 25 points.
Woo-wee.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
Now, the game that I'm going to talk about is Clemson and Louisville. And my Heisman front runner. Speaking of which, I picked him during the first game of last year, and I said nobody else. And I made a bet on it, and I won off of that pick.
Okay.
I've picked the past 5 Heisman Trophy winners after week 2 within the past 5 years. So, this game this weekend is Clemson at Louisville. And this game is going to turn out just like WPA at the Columbus Fire. So, last year's game went down to the wire. And even though Lamar Jackson won the Heisman Trophy, the way the game ended on that last pass that he had, I know he wished that he could have taken that pass back. So far, he has numbers that are video game numbers.
Out of his world. Okay.
Right now. And with Clemson being the national champions right now, defending national champions, new quarterback as in Kelly Bryant, who's supposed to be just as good as Deshaun Watson. Last week he didn't play that well against the Auburn defense. Even though Louisville doesn't have a defense, I'm taking Louisville to win this game.
Now they struggled against
as an
Purdue.
upset.
Oh, as an upset. Okay.
They struggled.
So I'm riding with Louisville, and Lamar Jackson is going to put his stamp on the Heisman Saturday. And it's going to be his to lose.
They struggled against mediocre Purdue team.
You say mediocre Purdue team. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson when the big bright lights are on and the stage
Action
is on.
Jackson.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. You heard it first from Drew.
Now, as far as the NFL is concerned, before we go into that, I'd like to give a shout out to my nephew Kareem Hunt, who.
Yes.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God.
Thank you.
He played.
He had 148 yards rushing off of 17 carries, and he had 5 receptions for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was a NFL record for a rookie debut.
Ooh.
Who are they doing again? Who are you doing again?
Give it up for Kareem Hunt.
Now, as far as the NFL is concerned, I don't do my picks until after the first week. So as far as tonight's game is concerned, it is the San Diego Chargers versus Los Angeles Chargers versus the New Orleans Saints.
No. The
Minnesota
Vikings versus the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, I'm taking the Saints in this game because they have Adrian Peterson, and that's going to open up the passing game for Drew Brees. He's already deadly with his arm, and he's one of the only quarterbacks within the NFL to pass for over 5,000 yards for, I think it was 4 consecutive years in a row.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll with them. I don't see the Minnesota Vikings having too much offensive spark.
Is Teddy Bridgewater, is he back?
Yeah, he.
No, he's not back yet.
I call Teddy Bridgewater Tender Teddy.
Oh, wow.
He gets injured. Now, there's another game on deck, too.
The Los Angeles Chargers versus the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Oh. I think it's time for San Diego to pass the reins.
Los Angeles.
Off Los Angeles Chargers to pass the reins from Phillip Rivers to a new quarterback. I don't know who their backup is right now.
You know who it is.
Who is it?
12 gauge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're right. I said that earlier.
Cardale Jones.
Excuse me, I have amnesia sometimes. But Cardale Jones, I'll give you my description of him. He is a Big Ben / Tom Brady. Once they give him the reins, it's going to be over. It's going to be over. He's going to torch teams up. I think it's time for Phillip Rivers to move on. The Broncos.
Who's their quarterback?
The Broncos are known to have a 1,000-yard running back. I don't care who it is. It could be a midget back there playing running back. But the way the Broncos' offensive line scheme, the way their offensive line is designed to scheme and plan for those running backs, no matter what running back that they have back there, he's good for 1,000 yards. So with San Diego's defense tonight and Manti Te'o.
He's still playing?
Being the linebacker for Los Angeles Chargers. I believe that the running back for the Broncos will have over 100 yards rushing tonight, and I don't even know who that is.
Oh.
Wow. That's how I'm gonna go. So
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Broncos tonight for the win.
Starting quarterback.
Broncos
I
for the
couldn't even
win.
tell you. I'm just going for the Broncos based on their run game.
I know they drafted Paxton Lynch. I don't know if he's starting.
Well, Drew, we
that is the
appreciate
hope,
your picks,
yes.
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll be looking forward to that on Saturday as far as the
Wait.
college.
I can't wait for the commentary so we can post it on Sports Street Heat News blog. So you'll be able to get that first. And this is Coach Drew. He's gonna be taking care of the huddle for us every week. So always tune in, cause man, he better give us the picks.
Before we get out of here, you know we gotta give shout out to where we going tomorrow.
Yes, we will. Gotta give it out. So listen, we gotta get ready for this Easy E rant. It's almost the end of the show.
Right.
Man, already. Second show at the SportzKelz Lounge. So listen, we're gonna stay tuned.
And now it's time for Easy E's rant. What you talking about, son?
Playoffs? What talking about? Playoffs?
We talking about practice, man.
Get a TO, Mr. Knight. Get a TO, baby. Get a timeout, Mr. Knight.
Come on, man.
That's terrible. That's a terrible idea.
It's my team. It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair. We lost as a team.
Come on, man.
When you just talk about practice, we sitting here, I supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice.
Come on, man.
Look like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Ah, rumble, young man, rumble.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Hey.
Come on, man.
Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me?
Oh, man, what a great show that we had tonight. You know, we got Columbus Fire. We had the barbershop talk. But, man, it's a great night. But I would feel injustice not to talk about something that happened 16 years ago today. You know what I'm saying? 9/11. We just want to take a moment of silence just to remember all the victims from 9/11 2001. So if everybody could just bow their heads real quick. Amen. So, great show, but, you know, I want to talk about my rant. You know, this is my part of the show that I love to do. I love the rant. And now that the NFL season is back right now, oh, man. So what am I going to do? The first rant of the NFL season, who should I talk about? Should I talk about the Cowboys? Should I talk about the Giants? Nah, I think I'm going to talk about those 2 Ohio teams this year. Man. First, I'm going to start with the Bengals. Whew. All I can say is time to fire Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis is just a joke, and he's trash. I'm sorry, Bob, but again, hey, it's time to let him go. It's time to let Paul Brown, he needs to just die. I'm sorry, he just needs to die. I'm just saying, it's time for him to go. It's time for the Bengals just to blow up the whole organization. Get rid of Andy Dalton, trade A.J. Green, get some draft picks like the Browns did, and become 1-15. So, hey. Hey, so again, to be honest with you, Fred, I know you're a Browns fan. I appreciate everything that you talk about the Browns. Hey, another 20 years for y'all, sir. Another 20 years for y'all to make a comeback. Say, hey, listen, y'all had a great game yesterday, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Hey, Deshaun Kaiser, great guy, but hey, don't matter if he's rookie or not, he's a professional athlete now. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Browns this year, your record, 3-13. But listen, y'all going to finish in third place this year. Bengals fans, hey, if y'all don't beat the Texans on Thursday night, it's time to call it a wraps. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm sorry. I apologize about this. It's hard, you know what I'm saying, being from Ohio to see two crappy teams. You know what I'm saying? Even the third team I want to talk about tonight, Ohio State. I love Ohio State to death, but they just basically they broke my heart Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give this donkey to all three Ohio teams tonight. You know what I'm saying? I hate giving Ohio State donkey, but again, hey, they deserve it. You let Baker Mayfield come onto y'all field. Cement the flag on block O. Come on, man. Come on, man. God. And then they up there dancing on the field, celebrating and all. Just like, God. Come on, man. Come on. That really hurt my heart. I went home. I was about to shed a tear. Like, man, I don't want to talk to nobody. Nobody at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I bleed Ohio State. But yesterday came. My Eagles came through. Thank you, Jesus. Hey. Giants fans, let's talk about them real quick. Hey, man. Hey, you can have Odell all you want, but Eli sucks. Eli stinks. It's time for him to go. Who's your backup quarterback? Hey, I'm just saying, hey, the Giants, hey, it's time for them to get rid of Eli. Nah, we're not going to lose. Hey, week 3, we'll see you. But, hey, like I said, Another time, another rant for the Giants. But right now, I had to give it to the Browns and the Bengals. More likely the Bengals. You guys are, like you always say, you're an up-and-coming team on the rise. Right, another 60 years. But the Bengals, man, it's time to pull the plug. It's time to tie the cement blocks to y'all ankles and just dump y'all in the Alum Creek, in the Scioto River, man. It's time to go. It's time to go, man. Hey, but you got hope. Y'all lose Saturday. Y'all lose Thursday. Hey, sorry. It's time to just let it go. So, appreciate the show. God rest in peace to all the people from 9/11. Hey, that's my rant. I'm out.
Man, this has been a great show. Again, let's give it up to the 2017 PAFL Columbus Fire. Woo! Listen. Thank you to Vez Moment for the barbershop talk. You will be listening to that on www.justtalkradio.com. You'll be able to listen to us live. He'll be a part of our segment now. And our closing thoughts. Here's my quote. Set goals that scare you and excite you at the same time. So as I move forward in this journey, I always set a goal that is higher than my expectation, and that was my SportzKelz Lounge, and it has materialized. And we're just keep moving on. You know, I love what I do. First grade teacher, now SportzKelz, and have with my SportzKelz Lounge. So listen, to close out this show, advertise with us, book your seat on the couch. Again, thanks to my awesome team. We got Freddie J, Coach Drew now. So give it up for Coach Drew for being a part of my team now. Whoop, whoop. We got Easy E. We got the fantasy doctor, Lawrence. We got Marshawn and Marcus. So listen, I call it SportzKelz and the fellas now. So on the move with SportzKelz, we ain't gonna be back. We out. Deuces.
You are now watching On the Move with SportzKelz.
I've been running the long run. I've been fighting the good fight. Got my eye on the good prize. So I see you at the finish line. And you're here to get yours. Best believe I'ma get mine. The only one holding me back is me. So I see you at the finish line.
Full speed ahead, cause early bird get the worm or receive the bread. Cause every day it's like a race, from start to finish. And this I can't evade, so Gatorade till I replenish.